Levi from the Rag Company, and with me, Mr. Dylan von Kleist of Rupes, USA. We are here in Idaho at an undisclosed location, visiting a man who I've really looked up to. I know you've looked up to.
Yep.
And I get to meet him this time. You get to introduce him to me, which is really exciting.
He's a big fan of Rupes polishers and a little bit of a legend in the custom car world.
I'm like...
a living legend, I guess.
Yeah, I'm like giddy. Like, I can't believe that we're here. I've been pinching myself all morning. And hopefully we're going to make him a fan of Rag Company towels, too, by the end of this. So
I believe so.
I think we should go in and say hi.
Let's do this.
Okay.
It's unlocked.
Oh, that's a good sign. Come on in.
Charlie! What's going on,
What's up,
buddy?
man? How are you?
Thanks for having us.
Hey, you bet, man. Welcome to our humble abode.
Want to introduce you to Levi from the Rag Company. Good.
Charlie, good to meet you. Levi Gates.
Charlie, nice to meet
Good
you,
to
man.
meet you.
So
Man, thanks for having us.
my neighbor that I've never even met.
Yeah. I brought him all the way from Idaho.
There you go.
Believe it or not. That's right. Yeah.
We're just down the road about 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm kind of like a hermit. This is my
all right.
little cave, so
I
don't get out much.
This was
I'm
my
not allowed to get out much.
If this
put it
was
that
my
way.
cave, I'd hang out here too.
Yeah, I want to hang out here
but,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, no, this is cool.
But yeah, now this is the play zone.
Cool.
So,
Show us around, man. Let's see some of the stuff you're working on.
Yeah, well, basically it was, for me, when I built the shop, I never really wanted a job. It was going to be more of a hangout and a playpen, and so that's kind of how we've done it. So, but this part of the shop right here is the initial plan, obviously, was going to be tear down, we do the sheet metal work, and then final assembly, because I was only going to do one car at a time. So, as you can see, that's really worked out well.
Yeah, you stuck to your plan, Charlie.
You can still work on one
Exactly.
at a time.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, but we've been very blessed. We really have been. We got some cool variety of projects that we're working on. So, obviously we still do a lot of the hot rod stuff.
Yeah.
But there's actually a family. It's called the Brothers Collection that we've been very blessed to be a part of. We get to do cars for them every now and then. And this actually, it's kind of interesting because this car right here it's called a dual gear, and I had no idea even what it was when they mentioned dual gear, and it's like, dude, that is rad. What is that
That is
thing?
a cool car.
But yeah, and kind of the neat thing with this is, now this car had been restored several years ago, but there's a lot of paint issues, a lot of blisters and so forth. So with this one, this is a project what we basically consider, we just call it paint and trim. Okay. So we're not doing any mechanicals because, as you can see, it has been restored, so obviously all this stuff, nothing needs to be done.
Beautiful.
So these kinds of projects, when we get them in, we have to, we pretty much gut them in a sense of we pull all the interior out to try to keep things clean, pull motor and training, and then basically for the body shell, we'll strip to bare metal, bring it up. And the trim side is just like anything stainless, we repolish, chrome, whatever. But then also for them, we do a lot of restoration, full concourse type restoration as well. So. Yeah, it's fun. Especially because most people know me from the hot rod world. Mm-hmm. I've been very blessed to, working with Wood Coddington, with Chip Boost, and, and for me, like I say, we're all car guys. We just live in different parts of the world, or you know what I mean? So, but yeah, so for us, it's always just been the hot rod stuff. And so the fun part is with the restoration side, it's almost like a new challenge.
Yeah.
With the creative side of the hot rod world, where the sky's the limit, especially if you're doing a car for, say, Detroit or whatever, on the restoration side, I never really thought of it that way. But then once I got into that, then you realize it's like there's a ton of stuff that you have to do that still requires the creative side.
Right.
Matching the factory screw up stuff.
Yeah.
And say, for instance, like this is a 1966 275 GTB. And some of the stuff that you're doing on it is just like replicating the shrink marks that are exposed.
Yeah. Recreate the flaws.
Exactly.
Which is
because, if anybody knows anything about Ferraris, it's like Ferrari didn't really want to sell cars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was all about racing.
Yeah.
And so he built cars to fund racing too.
Yeah.
And so like cars like this that were raced and so forth, a lot of the engine compartment things they never did the finish work on. You know, and so, you know, because this car is actually aluminum and the frame and stuff is steel, and anywhere you have two different kinds of metals, aluminum and like steel, you get the electrolysis, so the aluminum corrosion.
Yeah.
So any of those parts, you know, for me, like when we were doing this car, it was like, oh shoot, we got to repair all the inner fenders and stuff. It'd be a lot easier just to make a new panel and throw it in there versus trying to cut and splice stuff. Thankfully for us at the time when we were working on this, we actually had one of Chip Foose's cars up here. And he had his metal guy up here. Well, the metal man, his father's background was Porsche restoration, a lot of Italian cars as well. Well, we were getting ready. I was talking to him. It's like, oh, coming to build new fenders and stuff. And he goes, can I give you a little advice? It's like, well, what's that? And he goes, you can't do that. He goes, you need to just replace what's there. Because you got to retain as much of the integrity of the car, as much of the original parts of the car there. So then all of a sudden it's like, well, crap. The bottom edges, any radiuses, any stuff like that had the shrink marks. So then it's like, okay, I go over to my echo shrink mark. The little stippling marks they would leave behind, it's like, well, that's different. So then I grab, it's like, well, I got a Dagger one. Let's see what the stippling marks would leave there. It's like, well, no, that's different. Eastwoods, that's different.
Yeah, so you're almost kind of having to do a little bit like a detective work just to figure out what they were using to recreate the flaw, right?
Yep. Okay. And so now you got to make it so it looks the same.
That's great.
That's insane.
And even like with hardware, you know, I mean, we're doing a car for Detroit. Generally, I mean, we're having everything made. I mean, all your hardware, all your bolts are machined.
Yeah, you're not trying to match something. It's a one.
It's all one off.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, with this Ferrari, a lot of Lobo bolts was, you know, so the head of the bolt has the Lobo logo. You can get a lot of the smaller sizes. You can't get the bigger ones.
Yeah.
So then when you're having bolts made,
you gotta have
it might cost you $35, $40, $50 for a bolt that looks like you just bought it at the hardware store. So it's kind of been a fun different for us, you know.
Yeah.
But it's been good, so.
So in terms of, I mean, obviously everybody knows you for your paintwork. That's your main thing. But so you are a full service shop here. You know,
technically.
You know, I mean, the thing is what's so funny is everybody does think of me as a painter just because of the Boyd days and stuff they've seen. But I mean, if anybody really watched the shows, they would see that, okay, I was always up front working, doing the metal work with Roy, and then of course doing the body work.
Yeah.
Painting is probably the least amount that we do. So it's like every time we go to paint a car, it's like you're learning all over again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just keeping up with technology. And we've been very fortunate where, you know, we've got a good relationship with PPG. And so for me, with that relationship, I've been able to pick the brain of the chemists and stuff. And I've always been that weird, quirky kind of guy that I want to know how shit works.
You're a good company.
Sorry. But how things work.
Yeah.
But anyway, and so to ask them, it's like, you know, the chemical base, I mean, what creates this and what causes this to happen?
Yeah.
And, you know, and so that's been fun for us. And it's opened an avenue to be able to help kind of teach a restoration class and stuff with them, which actually helps us learn all over again.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, so every time they decide to reformulate paint for a different base, right? It's a whole,
you gotta learn
forget everything you learned and
exactly, just start over. So, but yeah, so for me, everybody thinks of me as a painter, but it's probably the least amount that we do. So I'm kind of one of those jack of all trades, master of none of them.
Yeah.
All I say is on the paint side, thank God for sandpaper and a buffer. So thank you very much for having the Rupes buffer.
If only we had a guy who can get you some polishers.
I think I know a guy.
Exactly.
I know a guy. The guy behind the guy. Yeah.
So,
That's awesome. So I mean, if you had to pick, what's your favorite? Do you like doing the full custom build hot rod stuff, or do you enjoy doing the kind of the fact finding historical restoration type stuff? Do you have a preference?
I like all of it.
You like all of it.
Honestly, I like all of it. You know, you get to that point in life where, like the real crazy high-end scratch-built stuff, the challenge of that, I really love that side. You know, but then you get to that point also, it's like you get tired of it.
Right.
I mean, as dumb as that sounds. With the restoration side, it's a different challenge, you know, because more, not necessarily the intellectual side, but it is because of the amount of research. And then it's learning the history side. That's way cool.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like a dual gear. I never know what the hell that was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that part is exciting and challenging. And I think that's the way with any craftsman. I mean, anybody that's creative.
Yeah.
You know, there's a drive.
It's more the challenge than it is
push.
the
You know what I mean? So, but it's just, I don't know. I mean, you get to that point where also is unfortunately with the show car world, there's always ridiculous, stupid deadlines. You know, where you're working around the clock to get the damn car done just for the show.
Yeah.
You know, with the restoration side, thankfully with this customer, we don't have the deadline, so that is really nice, you know. And but yet
work on
when you
it.
go to SEMA or you go to these shows and you see these really badass cars, and it's like, dang, I wish I would have been a part of that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I don't know. It sounds goofy, but I mean, I don't have an ego, but I think everybody that is creative has a little bit of an ego, but it's an ego of a pride thing.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be better than anybody else.
yeah.
It's just trying to do the very best you can.
Yeah.
You know, and for us, you know, we've been very blessed to be a part of some great teams. You know, we've been a part of 4 Riddler Awards, you know, and with different teams. And that's the cool side. It's not like just one builder. We've been blessed to work with different builders and have that whole creative base where everybody's working together for a common goal of trying to build the absolute best that they can. And it's not about winning that trophy up on stage, because the trophy's already given to us when the customer sees the car the first time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
Yeah,
what it
yep.
is.
It's more of a journey than a
It's
destination
exactly,
type deal,
you know
right?
what I mean? And just, you know, I mean, the awards are great and everything, but it's just to be able to work with a customer, to be able to provide a dream. You know,
Yeah.
they've had this dream
Yep.
and you're able to make that a reality. You know, and that's the cool part.
Okay, now this is the part where I ask you for the shameless plug.
There you go. That's right.
No, but I do want to hear, and we'll maybe dive into something here a little bit. But we were talking when we first got here,
Yeah.
just about the wool pads to change things for you.
Yeah.
But I mean, give me your honest opinion, not for the camera, your honest opinion. I mean, how has the Bigfoot system changed how you do things in here versus what you were doing before?
Dude, I love it. You know, and the thing is, you know, the longer you do this, and every time you're trying to bump your skill set up, every time you're trying to get better and better and better. You know, and for me, with such a critical eye, you get that learned eye. You know, and I've never been happy with anything.
You can't unsee what you see, right?
Exactly. You know, everybody else looks at, oh, that is badass. That looks so good. And then, but you're looking past all of that, and you see the issues. You know, and for me, it's what I always have called the skin texture. And we've fought it and fought it and fought it. And we've used every system on the market, every pad, every compound, and trying to even go back to old school way and trying to hand polish stuff, and you always have that. And then when you sent me those pads, and actually what's funny is because it was when I was doing one of the restoration classes, and I can't remember where I was at. My memory's as short as my Peter neck. So, but it was one of those classes that one of your guys had those pads.
Travis, yeah.
Yes.
Travis was at the
And
conference.
I was like, dude, I'm taking this shit home with me. You're not gonna, and so then we brought those, and then you sent me that, and we're actually on that CUDA project that we're doing. Holy crap, night and day difference, dude. I mean, it's a game changer, no doubt in my mind. I mean, for us, it was the nicest that we've ever had one. And I know that sounds stupid because we've done some pretty
Yeah.
good stuff.
You
We've
guys
been
do
a part
some
of
pretty good. I
some neat
think you're
stuff.
okay.
But it's nice. It's nice because it's so much work. People have no idea how many steps it takes
To finish
You
a
know,
car.
they think,
yeah.
oh, once it's painted, it's done. It's like, no, man, we're cutting that with, you know, sometimes with 6. Most of the time we just cut with 8, 12, 15, 2, 25, 3, 5,000. You know what I mean? It's just like
It's a lot of hours
all
just
this-
in sanding. Yeah.
Yes.
And
You know
then-
what I mean? And then you go to the buffing part, and then it's like, I mean, it's got to be there. And then you're just like, oh. You know, and it's like, that bubbles pop. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I still see this texture look. I can't get that finish. So yeah, no, with the Rupes system and the pads, it's just blown away.
And that's what
blown away.
That's what we like, because your endorsement means the world to us. But we love that we're solving a problem for you, and that's the cool part, you know. And it's
that's what
you
it
go,
is.
if we made it better, you know, it's different than if we said, hey, here's this thing, use this and talk about it. But you started using it, and we were like, holy crap, Charley Hutton's using our stuff. Whoa.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the heck out of it,
Yeah.
and I'm glad to know that the proof is here. Obviously, you're doing some decent work, and we're a small part of that, so that's
Yeah.
cool.
Thanks for the decent part. Decent work. We're doing all right. You know. But no, it is. It's just, and then honestly too, with your
We're
guys'
gonna
rags and stuff too.
Hopefully you'll get to start
That's-
using them,
yeah.
and you'll find that it makes a big difference.
Yeah. No, I'm stoked.
It's one of our things.
Because to see that without that hemmed edge on there.
Yeah.
You know, because you get those microfiber claws, and it's like, oh, dude, it's like, okay, you cut that off, or you know, you teach all your guys fold inside, fold
Yep.
inside. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so we're stoked. So, and that's the whole point. You know, I mean, it's we understand the fact that, I mean, everybody has their specialty, and you have to work together. You know what I mean? It's you guys make our jobs better.
Well, that's-
you know, and makes it easier.
That's the goal.
You know what I mean? So
And that's why guys like us work for companies like they do, because
Yeah.
we've both been detailers for 20 years. We know how it works, and we know how to make that job hopefully a little easier for
Yeah, a
a
little
lot of
faster, a
people.
little easier, a little better, and if it can do that, I mean, you're not selling when you just tell people about something you actually believe in, right? And that's kind of where we're at right now.
Well, I know the next big challenge is the next one we get painted. We'll just call you guys in to do a demo.
Right?
And I'll kick back, Dan, and I'll kick back in our chairs. Our comments.
Charlie needs training
No,
again.
you guys need to show me how you sand and buff this stuff.
I forgot how to do this. Could you guys come train me? Train me around the entire car.
Yeah, that's right.
And another
I didn't
test
quite
panel.
get that. Can you show me again?
Again and again and again.
Wait, there's this fender over here. Show me on this one too.
Yeah.
This is awesome. So we appreciate the heck out of you letting us
dude.
in here. And
Oh, this is awesome.
This is a dream come true, man. I've always wanted to see your
seriously.
spot, and really treasure the friendship we have, and I'm honored to be here. Even
Thank
though-
you for opening your doors.
No, I'm honored that you guys came because that's the thing is, it's kind of like Fort Knox. We have no sign; it's always locked up. So.
Yeah.
So when you and I first talked, it was like, dude, I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys to come in, and so we can just share it. You know what I mean? So.
That's awesome. Well, thanks, Charlie.
And then beg for free stuff.
Yeah.
Per chat, you know what I mean?
So much free stuff
Part of
did
the,
you bring me?
that's right. Part of the Bigfoot search team here. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much
Awesome,
for
man.
everything,
Thank you
and
for having us.
appreciate you having us here.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
boys. Awesome, man. Thank you, guys.